Ladies and gentlemen, by the authority granted this honorable court, we are convened on this day, July 7th, 2020, to prefer charges of general court-martial against one Donald John Trump, Commander-in-Chief of the United States Armed Forces. Donald John Trump, pursuant to the Unicorn Code of Military Justice, you are accused of multiple criminal charges for both your actions and inactions for the period of time between January and July 2020. The court stipulates you have, whether wittingly or unwittingly, left clear and copious date and time-stamped records, print, video, electronic, etc. So in the interest of time, the court will suffice with a simple reading of the charges. The charges include, but are not limited to, the following: that in the face of the enemies, plural, of the United States of America, being one, the SARS-2 COVID-19 coronavirus, and two, civil unrest and racial discord, that you did contravene the following articles of the Unicorn Code of Military Justice. Articles 85 and 87, desertion and being absent without leave, that in the face of the enemy, the one you yourself have called the invisible enemy, you have surrendered your command, leaving the individual states with the preponderance of the formidable burden of defense, such that you have endangered the lives of the American public. Article 88, contempt. Article 94 and Articles 116 and 117, mutiny and sedition, that you did willingly and with malice aforethought incite the people of Michigan, Minnesota, and Virginia, and in some cases armed citizens, to revolt against the duly elected governing bodies in those states, the potential consequences of such action being both peace and life-threatening. Article 133, conduct unbecoming an officer and gentleman. Notwithstanding the obvious weight of the argument the defense might make to vacate this charge, being as you would rarely have been accused of being either an officer or a gentleman. There are multiple contraventions of this article, not the least of which was your heinous and savage assault in bashing and gassing your own civilian countrymen and women in Washington, D.C. to clear the way for a photo op. Article 107B, false swearing, that you gave statements and testimony you knew to be untrue, the inference of which, in multiple cases, has caused the citizenry to flout consensus, scientific, and medical advice to their devastating and sometimes lethal peril. And finally, Article 99. While technically described as misbehavior before the enemy, the charges here, specifically subsections 1 through 5, and also 8 and 9, charge you with running away, shamefully abandoning, surrendering your command, casting away arms and ammunition. In this case, your refusal to take federal lead against the invisible enemy, refusal to wear a mask for reasons of vanity, and it continues, cowardly conduct, willfully failing to do your utmost to encounter, engage, or destroy the enemy, and finally, for failing to afford all practical relief and assistance. This court alleges you fear facing this daunting, dangerous enemy full on, as the focus necessary will detract from your political agenda, re-election. This constitutes for now the list of charges. I don't personally get to sit in final judgment of you, sir. However, as we end this proceeding, I feel it is incumbent upon me to offer this brief comment. Do you understand, sir, charges leveled on you relating to Articles 85, 86, 99, and 133 allege cowardice? In the face of the enemy, you have turned tail and run, leaving behind you a yellow streak America-wide, but sadly as well a red blood-stained trail, stained with the innocent blood of tens of thousands of people. Bullying lady journalists, retweeting chants of white power, continually uttering racial slurs. This is a time when any decent human on this earth wants the lynchings to stop. 400 years of bullying, hatred, and wanton murder is enough. But as my friends the Moody Blues once so eloquently said, there are none so blind as those who will not see. I have not as my black brothers and sisters have, had to watch my mom, my daughter, my sons being knocked down, beaten, mocked, and savaged with ridicule at school, at work, at play, just as a routine part of everyday existence. I didn't have to find a way to explain to my kids why so many people around them would take such delight in bullying them, let alone worry that they might not make it home from school. Because of the color of their skin, you were placed in a unique position to make a difference for the collective benefit of people of all colors, creeds, countries worldwide, being the leader of the great country of America, that we might enjoy, experience, celebrate, and learn from each other. And you have chosen to divide, not unite, to hate, not to love. 4 years ago, the people of America bestowed upon you a gift so great as to be almost indescribable. Suffice to say, most honorable men would consider it a privilege of the highest honor and also of the greatest responsibility, that being the guardianship of your nation, hundreds of millions of lives given over to your hands. I'm afraid, sir, it would be the supreme understatement to say that trust was very much indeed misplaced, resulting in the most colossal failure in leadership the developed world has ever witnessed. My final comment: I have recently fantasized that I could take the proverbial ceremonial glove, a black glove if you please, and smack your smug face with it, challenging you to a duel with pistols for the good of humanity. Yes, I can hear the chants from hundreds of millions of people worldwide yelling at me, "Get in line, pal." They too demand that honor. But I have also got to give pause and consider the likelihood, the real likelihood, there is every chance you would pull up a pace or two short of protocol and shoot me in the back. Even this, some of your supporters, your trumpeters would champion. I can hear those people yelling too. A good shoot, a righteous knee, as it were. This court is adjourned.